Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice for radio. So today, we are continuing our look at the Eevee-themed GXs by having a little bit of a gander at Jolteon. We've already looked at Eevee, we've already looked at Flareon. I'll pop links to those videos in the description. But Jolteon, ladies and gentlemen, well, at first glance, it looks incredibly underwhelming, and then because of a couple of support cards it has, it actually turns into like a nuts good card. One of the best things about Jolteon is that it's a lightning Pokemon. That means you have access to Thunder Mountain, which reduces your attack cost by 1 lightning energy. Now, sure, it's a once per deck Prism Star card, but on that one turn, or maybe more, because you guarantee at least one use before your opponent can get rid of it, it is phenomenally good. And you have Electro Power, which lets you do an extra 30 damage this turn, and you've got Electra Charger, which lets you flip 2 coins, and for each head you put an Electro Power back into your deck from your discard. It's really good being a lightning Pokemon right now. In all honesty, in terms of weakness, you're hitting like Ho-Oh, but you're really not hitting much else. But you got Free Retreat. Now, annoyingly, the main picture we've got doesn't show the free retreat, but we do have a secondary image, which is kind of slanty, but it does show that the retreat is 0. And this is amazing. We're in a format at the moment where Floatstone has rotated, so there's no way of just getting free retreat. And after a KO, you want a free retreater. After playing a Guzma, you want a free retreater. Free retreat is awesome, and to be fair, right, being a lightning Pokemon, if you've got a lightning energy attached, Zero Aura gives free retreat. But you don't even need that, you've got free retreat. 200 HP is a bit weird because we saw that both Vaporeon and Flareon had 210 HP, but you know, you can't win them all, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the end of the world. I mean, look, you're weak to fighting as is expected, which sucks because of Buzzwole. But you're out of Jet Punch range. Jet Punch with a Beast Energy and a Diancie Prism Star will do 80 damage, double with weakness is 160, that won't KO you. Yay! Of course, with free energy they will, and the baby Buzzwole, hey Nick, with Sledgehammer, if you've got 4 prizes remaining, will, but, you know, you can't win them all. As for the resistance to metal, it's nice to have a resistance, but the thing here is that Duskmane the Crozma hits for 220. With its main attack. With resistance, it goes down to 200 and you get KO'd anyway. Resistance is good for avoiding the main numbers, this doesn't do it. But the attacks here are good. Our translation comes from the lovely David Hochmann here, and the first attack for 1 lightning energy, 30 damage, plus 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Yes, it's Jet Punch. It's literally Jet Punch, but for a lightning Pokemon. It's awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need any proof that Jet Punch is a good attack. We know that Jet Punch is a good attack. We've seen Jet Punch be good with Buzzwole for a while now. 30 to the active, 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Yeah, it's awesome. Quite frankly, awesome. Weirdly enough, Manectric EX did have a similar attack, although it was 20 to the active, 20 to the bench, though it was for a colorless energy on a basic rather than a colored on a stage 1. But this is good. This is really good. And do remember that we have the Sun and Moon Eevee. So if you go second, you attach a lightning energy to your Eevee, you get to search your deck for a Jolteon and evolve it, and then you're good. Now you can just use that attack, 30 to the active, 30 to the bench. It is going second a turn 1 attack, which is great. Now don't get me wrong, it will KO some little Pokemon, Piplup comes to mind, and yes, we've got a 70 HP Piplup, but we've also got Professor Owl's Lecture, which will be out by the time this comes out, which means that you can search for Pokemon with 60 HP or less, meaning you want to play 60 HP Pokemon, not 70, and you can clean up here. And if you add a Choice Band, you're up to 60 damage, and we've seen with Buzzwole that this can add up quite quickly. Now the thing is, unlike with Buzzwole, we don't have Diancie Prism Star. But it doesn't matter. We've got Electro Power. And Electro Power is what really makes the difference for an attack like this. Because Electro Power says you do an extra 30 damage to your opponent's active during this turn. So this can add up really, really quickly. Your opponent, if you go second, hasn't had a turn to evolve, but because you are using the Energy Evolution Eevee, you can. So if you go second, you have your Jolteon, your opponent has unevolved Pokemon, and you can just go to town. Now, with just a single Electro Power, you're up to 60 damage. That's your Zorua, your Ralts, your Inkay, there's a whole bunch of others, all going down in one hit. But you could actually get up to 150 here, because you're doing 30 damage, plus 4 Electro Power is 120, that's 150. Oh no, wait, because you got Choice Band as well, which puts you up to 180, and something like a Rayquaza here will go down in a single hit before they've had a chance to attack. You get the first attack, your opponent hasn't evolved, and you can start getting KOs. If you go second here, this is a recipe for turn 1 KOs. Now look, you're not going to get all 4 of your Electro Power every game going second, but sometimes you will. And you only need 1 to take out something like a Zorua, and maybe it's your opponent's only Zorua. But even if it's not, you're still going up by a prize. 2 of these, you get to take out Diancie Prism Star right early in the game. This is a great attack, and that's even before you remember you're doing 30 damage to the bench. That's a 2-hit KO on something like a Zorua. You hit Zorua, your opponent has to evolve that turn, or you're going to KO it, and then when they do evolve it, it's already got some damage on, making it easier to take out in the future. Now you could combo this with things like Greninja-GX or Decidueye-GX, but to be honest with you, that sounds like it might be a little inconsistent. But I do want to remind you here that with Thunder Mountain, this attack is free. Although to be honest with you, that should be basically irrelevant because you should be attaching an energy to Eevee to evolve, so you won't need it. Now the second attack initially looks very underwhelming. Lightning Colorless 110 damage. It is a very classic 1-hit KO if they're weak, 2-hit KO if they're not kind of attack. If you're looking at getting rid of non-GX Pokemon, you are getting stuff like Tapu Koko, but you're still 20 damage short of something like a baby Buzzwole. Hey Nick! But the extra tools make this attack phenomenal. Because you see, Thunder Mountain turns this into an attack for a single colorless energy. And then again, you combine it with Eevee, you go second, you attach your lightning energy to Eevee, search your deck, evolve into Jolteon, play a Thunder Mountain, and you're going second. Your opponent has not been able to attack, they've not been able to evolve, and you're hitting for 110 damage. But of course, when I say 110 damage, I mean that's 110 damage before Electro Power and your Choice Band. You can actually get it up to 260 playing all of them. And remember, with Electrocharger, you're not actually limited to 4 Electro Power in your game. You can have more. To be completely blunt here, if your opponent goes first and passes to you with 1 Pokemon on the board, you can win. Now don't get me wrong, you might need a couple of Electro Power, you might need your Choice Band, and you will need your Thunder Mountain here, although remember the first attack can get you up to a decent amount of damage. But you can make a speed deck here. Play cards like Order Pad, flip a coin, search for an item card. Acrobike, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, discard 1, put 1 in your hand. Rangaroo, draw till you've got 3 cards in hand. We have got enough cards out there that we can make a bit of a speed deck, although as always you do need to watch out for Garbodor if you're going too heavy on the items. But this is really, really nice. I adore this. And it's not just a going second turn 1 attack. Although it is a great going second turn 1 attack if you can find your once per deck Thunder Mountain. It's just a good mid to late game attack. At any point during the game, you can just sit there and do 140 with 1 Electro Power. I mean, Choice Band and a single Electro Power, you're up to 170 and getting a 1-hit KO on a Tapu Lele. That's redonk. And against something like a Ho-Oh that's weak, you will just run through it like a hot knife through butter. Ladies and gentlemen, this on a non-lightning Pokemon that didn't evolve from Eevee, this on a stage 1 would be, damage to energy ratio is alright, but it's nothing exciting. But when you build in Eevee, Thunder Mountain, and Electro Power, this attack becomes absolutely great. And it really is a case, if you go second and you've got a consistent enough deck, your opponent must bench a second Pokemon or they're gonna lose the game. Now, weirdly enough, the GX attack is surprisingly similar. 1 lightning, 1 colorless energy, 110 damage. Yeah, it's literally exactly the same. The difference is you prevent all effective attacks, including damage done to this Pokemon, during your opponent's next turn. It gives you complete and utter immunity. And quick quiz, which other Pokemon do this as their GX attack? Toxapex, which everybody wanted to play initially but was never good, and far more commonly, Dawnwing's Necrozma has a similar thing. The thing is, Dawnwing's Necrozma is free psychic energy and can only be used if you're behind on prizes. Toxapex GX is free psychic energy on a stage 1. This is a lightning and a colorless, but with Thunder Mountain, it's a colorless energy. Now, this isn't great, but it's nice. Your opponent can still Guzma around it, but they've got to play the Guzma. That means they can't play something like a Cynthia this turn. And one thing I really like here, if you're taking a knockout to go down to 4 prizes, use your GX attack, then Buzzwole cannot use Sledgehammer for 1 energy to KO you, and then you take a prize and you can completely bypass that turn where your opponent can KO you for 1 energy on a basic. It's good. It's not some kind of stunning, amazing GX attack, but it's really nice if you strategically to buy yourself a turn. Overall here, the first attack and the second attack are great, with Eevee, Thunder Mountain and Electro Power, and I think we're looking at a 5 WOSY card here. I really, really like this card. And it's not necessarily the card, it's the support that helps it out. But this is a kind of card like Buzzwole, where if you go first, you're kind of terrified about what they're going to do on their first turn of the game. I think it's great. But I want to know if you think it's great. So, comment section, go nuts, be nice, you know the deal, be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do just that. And do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassyPlays for some lovely Transformers TCG action. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.